Good afternoon, everybody. It is Easter Sunday. We had our supper last night. We had a couple inches of snow overnight, so we're sitting pretty good for moisture this year. Now it's a matter of getting things done. Today's not a day to work on the toolbar, but I am gonna start working on some of our seating stuff. I'm gonna work on the Delta track inside the cab. I'm gonna do some wiring and installation of I'm actually gonna move. I'll tell you a little more when I get into it, but essentially I'm adding a USB port hopefully on the center console, like ahead of the steering column, so that we can mount two iPads there to free up some view space in the passenger window. And I'm going to install some of the, Intelligent Ag Blockage. It's the Recon system. And I'm going to tell you this, so far, I'm really, really, really impressed with what they've sent. Let's take a look. So they've sent us 6 boxes, and some of them have boxes inside, for our system. So this is going to be 120 of these. These are the inline blockage systems. It's kind of like a stethoscope. There's a little diaphragm, probably can't see, in there, and it just translates an acoustic rate into blockage. It's a very simple design. There's not a lot of moving parts, which I like. Dad had mentioned on the previous ones, I'm getting off topic here, but it's a simple system, and what I like is that it looks like they've sent us absolutely everything we need. I went through the instructions, and they're very straightforward. It tells you what you need, where it is, what is what, how to hook up what. And very, very full instructions, which I really appreciate. The other thing that I appreciate is that it doesn't look like they've nickel and dimed anything. One of the things I hate is where you get like, oh, it's a complete system, and then, oh, well, no, you need this cable, or you need that adapter, or whatever. They sent us what I believe is everything, just from doing rough analysis or inventory. And it shows you how, so it shows you this is what our system's going to have, 8 manifolds. And we have 8 gateways, so we actually have 16 manifolds, but the manifolds are close enough and the gateways have enough ports that we can get them on everyone individually. So I believe our biggest manifolds have 8 per. So easily we can, and these have 24, so we'll be able to easily get 2 manifolds on each, and they're close enough, like they're only a foot apart, so that's not a big deal. The other thing I like is that these come assembled, which is also nice. They've sent us, so we have 8 ECUs, or gateway. They're not gateways. I think I call them gateways. They're ECUs. They've sent us all the cables. I made this. That's the mount thing I'm working on. But even as simple as sending us all the hose clamps. They're the right size. There's the right number. All of the clamps, like, we just told them exactly what we have, and they priced it out. They said this is what it's going to cost. They sent us everything. So far I'm very impressed. What I'm going to work on today is going to be everything from here forwards. Anyhow, what we are installing today is going to be, well, the other thing I was going to say, they sent us this portaverter. So this converts DC power, so 12 volt DC, into 150 watts of AC. Now, I'm going to check on this. I know the tractor has a 110 outlet. I think it's 500 watt or 1,000 watts, so more than enough to run this little gateway here. So the plan for today, hopefully, is to install the USBs, or the USB outlet. I'm going to have to find some power, hopefully off the steering column, where it is accessory power. So if the key is turned on, we're set. And if it's turned off, it's not drawing power. I love that. All right, so we got everything in the tractor that I think I need for the near future. I say that, I'm not sure if I have snips, side cutters, and I definitely forgot my torch. But the truck's only right there. So anyhow, it's surprisingly pleasant in here. It's going to be taking off the t-shirt shortly. I'm just hoping that my my toes don't freeze up because my boots are a bit wet. Other than that, let's take a look at what the plan is. So step number one, this guy I need to free up from the convenience plug. So it's going to end up getting wired directly down into here somewhere. Probably. Step number two is I'm going to take this guy off. I'm probably going to move this guy possibly over here just so it's easier to reach. That's super minor. I'm not saying I'm doing this in order, but here's what I want to accomplish. I kind of want to put this right on top of here, but it would probably be blocking this. I don't know. We will see. We might have to do some moving around because I can't be too close to that plug. That's why this is offset. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. I also don't want to get too close to the corner because that blocks where we want to see the very out end of the cedar. So in a perfect world, we wouldn't have this. We'd have an onboard one of these. It'd be really interesting. I should look into it. If a guy could put a Raven system on here, I doubt it. But it'd be nice to have a Raven to just control everything, or IntelliView or something like that. What I'm hoping to do is, you can see where this guy tilts, is I'm thinking right there is where I'm going to put the plug, the USB plug, and possibly up here, we got to see what's in behind, is where I put the ram mount balls. I'm using size C. Some of the Intelligent Ag stuff came with size B. I'm not a big fan of B. I just find they're good for small stuff. Like that's a B there on this guy. And it's probably even not quite enough. We'll see. So something that is good and bad. Good is that there's surprisingly little stuff in behind here. Bad is that I don't really have any power to tie into. So we're going to have to run a wire under the floor, I think. I don't want to go digging into those bundles trying to chase power. I could pretty much tell you which ones are power, but yeah, it's not really worth it. Possibly, I don't even know what that guy's for. You never know. But I'll just run my own power to be safe. Jesus, it's almost tropical in here. I'm working up a sweat. So you can see a lot of condensation. I had to kick the door open 2 or 3 times. So there's some heat in the sun, which is good, despite the fact that it is still trying to snow. Anyhow, quick update. I am very happy with how these are mounted. I'm going to use probably a longer. I have, so these guys are the stock ones. I think they're like 4-inch. And I have some like 8 or 9s. So we'll just get a little better spread on the screens there. And then I decided to mount this guy off to the side just because it's a nice open spot in behind there. So that's going to work really well once everything's sucked up tight. All right. So I am quite pleased at how things are coming together. That's about where the two iPads are going to sit. They're on the long arms, so they can be adjusted pretty well anywhere. We can tilt this back. You see that they just clear. So I picked a good spot, and I'm sure if Dad needs to, but normally Dad needs to go further away to read better. So they'll be fine up there. You can easy access, just lean forward, if you're not fully reclined out. This is the tractor kit, or they call it the tractor kit for the blockage, and it's just 2 wires. It's just straight up power, but it's set up on key power. So I actually moved the rate controller power up to the top one. It's one thing I think all new tractors should have, like 8 of these plugs. Maybe not 8, but probably 6. Like, I think 2 or 3 on this main side, and maybe 1 or 2 there and 1 or 2 here. And speaking of, I have the Wi-Fi link installed as well. This is what communicates. So that one actually sends power. That guy sends power. It's only hanging down. I didn't obviously start climbing around. It's going to be pretty chilly tonight. Chilly in the morning, so I hate trying to run zip ties when it's cold out because they end up just snapping and you get about 25% success rate. But we are going to run it through this umbilical here with all the camera stuff up top to the hitch right there. Then it'll hang there. And then there's another one that goes all the way to there into the ECUs and yada yada yada. Morning. I would say it's a good morning, and it is weather-wise for today, but we're definitely having a case of the Mondays today. Fired up the farm truck. It had some funny vibration. I couldn't figure out what it is, so I dropped it off at the shop because I don't have time to crawl around underneath. And then I get out to the farm, deciding, yeah, we'll fire up the Delta track and we'll move it over there where there's not so much snow. It's probably nice enough we can put this blockage system in or start on it. And now we got to boost it. She didn't want to start. Just not quite enough jam. Batteries are probably froze or cold. Hasn't run in a week, so that's probably part of it too. All right. Finally got some progress on the tractor. We're gonna go right through this snowdrift. Don't care. Took a while to boost it. Not really sure. Ooh, I don't like how that's riding up. Don't break through. You can always lock the diff, I suppose. So we're gonna pull it up over there where Dad's clearing off a spot. There's just a tiny skiff of snow there, and it's nice and high. So we're gonna start into the blockage meters. Hopefully we get a lot of it done today. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 70k winds, which would not be a lot of fun. Dad's tractor's small. So, first time unboxing this all year. Hopefully no blown lines or snaps or cracks. Alright, so sorry about the tractor noise. I'm letting the battery charge a little more before I shut her down. Probably another 15 or 20. Anyhow, got all of our receivers, or what do they call them? Those are sensors. Those are doesn't really say. I think they're called ECUs, something like that, but it's the blockage meters. I lined them up, here I'll turn, I lined them up in order, so it's like MB3C, MB3D, MB3E, F, S, and then it goes 4D, well, which was pretty straightforward. The first two were 3.2 and 3.8, so I'm pretty sure as far as alphanumeric, the numbers trump the alphabet. So we go numbers and then alphabets. So that's how I'm doing it. Hopefully when it does the first detection, I don't have to move any around. I know they said you can just assign them to wherever. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm trying to do things the smart way. Doesn't always work for me, but we'll try it. So there's number 1, gonna be 2, 3, 4, and so on. So we got all the ECUs mounted before lunch. That one is crooked as sin, but actually that one I'm taking off and I'm gonna move it to the back. We did it on that one over there. Hopefully you can see it. It's on the back of the pair. Hard to tell because, anyhow, just because of where all these hoses run, we wanted to just make sure that it wasn't going to catch. So I'm going to move that one right now. Okay, we have run all the wires. So we had a bit of a kerfuffle. We put one wire in the wrong spot and we couldn't figure out how everything wasn't terminated. So now we got all the wires run from tractor all to every ECU. We haven't mounted the whisker switch yet for the implement sensor. That is to be determined. But we were just starting to mount all the cables and we figured we should grab some extra long zip ties because there's some places where it's tying to the hoses and whatnot. So Dad's running in town for that. You can see they're all hanging down. They're just roughed in and we will find a good run for them later or as we work our slack back to the middle. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a good flat spot in this hose right here. So what I'm gonna work on right now is installing these guys. And this is the actual acoustic sensor that I showed before, and all it is a hose. A hose will go to whatever one I assign to, and then I need to know which run is which. So, well, we didn't quite make it today. As you can see, we got all the, I don't know if you really can call them a sensor, but microphones maybe? Because how these work are, there's just like a stethoscope in there, and every time it knocks, it sends a little pulse to that, and that does all the sensing really. Anyhow, we battled away today. It sure wasn't the easiest thing in the world, and we got all the way. I think we have 2 or 3 left on that manifold, and then we have the outside pair, and that's it. Problem is, it's 7:20 at night or something like that, and things are getting a bit cold, and we actually broke one of the bodies of the sensors. We'll call it a sensor. And as soon as we broke one, we just said, okay, we're shutting her down. We'll probably put that one in a spot that's easy to take off, i.e. the very end. And then we'll order probably 2 or 3 spares just in case. I don't think it came with any spares. I actually don't think we necessarily need to, but we probably will get one anyways. But yeah. So tomorrow is supposed to be not as warm and much windier. So we have a few other jobs that we could be doing, so we shall see which direction the wind comes from and what we want to do. But pretty much all of these tires, this guy's not horrible. Again, this guy's on the verge. One of these is new. This guy's new. That's why it doesn't even look that bad. This guy's starting to crack out in the middle. These guys, you're getting to the point where you can see the belting. So pretty much all the tires across the front need changed out, except that one that was new last year. So we might do that tomorrow. A little bit of work on the conveyor. Got some odds and ends. We'll see what the weather allows us to accomplish.